Today is Saturday, April 29th, 2017. Welcome to the Survivor Fans Podcast. I'm Joanne.
And I'm Stacy.
And this is the listener feedback show for week 8 of Survivor Game Changers.
We've got an exciting... What are you doing?
I'm breathing in my
Your Vicks Vapor Rub.
What are you doing?
I was about to say we got an exciting blind side to talk about in the listener feedback show. And I looked over at you and you cracked me up.
You were looking at my Vicks Vapor Rub on my nose.
Yes. It's not like dripping off of it right now, so that's good.
Why would Vicks Vapor Rub drip off your nose?
Well, it was, you had it gobbed onto your nose.
I
and
did.
It was hanging, dripping off.
Keep me from coughing.
How's that for a visual to get started with the podcast?
I think you could, delete that from their memory banks.
Okay, all right. We'll take care of that. Look into the light.
Yeah.
Well, as I was saying, we got an exciting blind side to talk about, and for another moment in the episode that's kind of got people split, which is what Cirie went through. And there's a definite delineation in the feedback in terms of how it was received. So look forward to breaking that down and seeing it from different angles. Anything you need to say before we get started? How many did we have this week?
23.
23. All right, let's get to it. First up, we got Pete.
Hey, Joanne and Stacy. This is Pete from Boston calling, and I gotta say, whoa! Now let's sing, baby. Na 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 na, na 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 na. Hey, goodbye. And might I add, ding dong, the wicked witch is dead. Her name is Debbie. Debbie, wake up, you sleepyhead, because you gotta get the sunset down. That's what happened to Debbie Wayner. Yup, she melted away in the sunset because of her cockiness. See what happens when you think you're in control? Then bam, it catches up to you and you're blindsided by the underdogs. And I gotta say, guys, hats off to two people. Sarah, who made the move possible with the underdogs of Andrea, Aubrey, and Zeke and Cirie. And number two, hats off to Cirie. That was just unbelievable at that reward challenge. And that's a moment I know we'll never forget. That's definitely one of the most iconic moments ever. This is why she's such a wonderful player. Now, she proved it at that challenge, and I love that her tribe mates, led by Cirie, all gathered around her to help her finish the challenge. She showed a lot of heart and grit, and that's just amazing. I love Cirie, and I hope she wins. And I love Sarah, too. This time, she's clearly playing a much better game than last time. She was caught in the middle last time, and it cost her the game thanks to Chaos Cast. But this time, she's playing a little more under the radar, and from what I could see, everyone loves Sarah on both sides. And I love that she found that advantage to steal a vote, and no one saw her. That was genius, and I think she'll use it right. The problem is, how in the world did clueless, big, egotistical, big mouth Michaela not see that? I read in Probst's Dalton Ross on EW that, again, her emotions got the better of her. She's going to go soon, I can guarantee that. She got zero chance of winning. Mark my words. but I love this season. It's anyone's game now, guys. I don't know what to think. But my question to you guys is, do you think anyone could win? I think it's Cirie and Sarah, my top two right now. And Culpepper, I don't know now about Culpepper and Sierra Dawn. Sierra Dawn, she made a good deal, though, the final three. And if it wasn't for Aubrey and Cirie, or actually, and Michaela opening up their mouth, I don't know if Sarah makes the move. We'll see. But I think it's anyone's game except Michaela's at this point. Looking forward to it, guys. Take care. Woo!
All right. Thanks, Pete. What do you think? You think anybody could still win? You think Michaela could win? Start you with the toughest question
doubt
first.
it.
It doesn't seem like
because-
she has the social portion of the game covered
Well,
to win.
because she hasn't made any big moves necessarily. She's gone along with others and helped make those moves, but I don't think the jury would see her.
Recognize her as a mover, a shaker, a player.
Okay.
Does that work? Something along those lines?
Thank you for finishing my sentence.
Uh-huh.
But that works.
Yeah. Who do you think the front runners are?
Sarah, Andrea, well, I have to say Aubrey because she's my USB, and Cirie.
There's no way Aubrey's a front runner. Aubrey and Michaela
Sure she is.
have been held back. They just never.
What about Zeke?
They never got traction. There's potential for Zeke. I worry because Andrea and Cirie seem to be with Andrea when Andrea was accusing him of being shady in this episode. So I worry about his social perception.
And yet Andrea said she had nobody. She was on the bottom.
Yeah, well, I think she might have been playing up to
No.
that status to
What
a
about
little bit.
Ty?
Could he win? Yeah, he could win. He could.
I think he could.
he's a longer shot. I think there's a clear difference right now with what we've been given. We don't know how these people are actually perceived by each other. All we have to go off is the edit.
Well, the people
And whatever
seem
we-
to like him.
Yeah,
The other people really see, and he's,
he's fallen into the
connected.
background since the Malcolm
yeah.
thing.
Yes, he has. And until they find out he has two idols, and that could be too late.
Yeah. So it'll. I think a lot of his ability to win will pivot off what he's able to do with two idols.
Well, here's what should happen, see, is the girls get together, because there's 5 of them, and just pick off the guys. Mm-hmm. Then they pick off Sierra, because she's the biggest threat.
Yeah, but they're not going to get to do that. If they go after the guys get to pop them 3 times potentially.
That's true.
Depending on how they play those idols.
Yep. It is true. So there's an awful lot of game to go yet.
Yeah, that's why I say for Ty, it really pivots on how he plays them.
The only reason you can't completely count the alliance of 4 out right now is because Sierra has an advantage they don't know about. Ty has 2 idols and Troy has 1. So you can't count that side out, that they can't start picking off the numbers
Sure.
enough to be back in the top.
End up in power
Absolutely.
at the crucial point. Yeah,
And who would they pick off first?
they would probably go after Sarah.
Sarah.
Get a little revenge. Yeah, it'd be hard to think that they wouldn't. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Though Michaela annoys them enough, according to Debbie. And actually some of the others said, yeah, she's annoying, but...
Yeah, Debbie had 2 completely, 180 takes on Michaela. Her, in the episode take on her, was that she was super annoying and she wanted her gone. Just wanted that drama out of the camp, out of the tribe. And then in our interview, she said, whoa, Michaela was just the sweetest little thing. So she was all pro Michaela. I didn't have a bad thing to say about her.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's typical of the Debbie interviews. There's at least 2 Debbies.
Maybe she got to know her better at Ponderosa.
Okay. Yeah, that could be. Good deal. Thanks, Pete. Next up, we got an email from Boston Mark. Hi, Joanne and Stacy. I'm enjoying this season. Clearly, CBS is highlighting tears and struggles with their edit, but it gives an insight into how much they care about the game and winning. I have enjoyed it. I disagree with you on Andrea. She is a scrappy player, and I've enjoyed her efforts all season. I like her fight. I like how she treats Zeke. When Varner was inappropriate, she defended Zeke, but she treats him no different as a game player. He is always looking for an angle, and he did dump her for no reason. He does this, and she let him have it. She plays hard. I like Aubrey, too. She's intelligent and knows what she is good at and deals with what she is not. If I was out there, I would want to be on her team. I appreciate Cirie for who she is more this season. She is very good at reading the situation and knowing where she stands. Finally, I like Sarah, who is playing her own game. I loved her instincts during the award challenge, first to help Cirie despite being upset and not winning, and then to be aware. These 4 women are the group I'm cheering for. I would love to see one of them win. Thanks, BostonMark. Yep, that is a good group of 4 there that you highlighted. Next up, we got a call from Shea. Oh, and Shea's going to want us to arbitrate a dispute that she had with her husband. So let's listen closely so that we can help her out.
Hi, Joanne. Hi, Stacy. This is Shea. I think this last episode might be one of my favorite of the season so far. There's so much going on, and everybody's playing really hard. And I think a spotlight's been put on Sarah. She's really playing the game, and a lot better than I imagined she was going to. She seems to be making some really smart moves, but everybody's right on her heels. I mean, it's just swapping out every day, a whole new plan, and it's really interesting to watch. I cannot believe Nicola, in her anger, missed that secret advantage. I mean, it was the size of a ham bone. I don't know how she missed that. It was huge. Good on Sarah for finding it. Debbie. Wow. She just got more and more on my nerves throughout the episode. I do not know how people find Nicola more annoying than her. I don't understand it. That woman, I'm telling you what, I wish they could go back through Survivor time and have a clip of just everything she says that she is or has been. I bet that clip would be at least 10 minutes long. Watching her leave 30 seconds after being so overly confident and cocky was the joy of my night. I had a rough day at work. I wasn't feeling well, but I found myself up off the couch doing a jig. I thought it was the funniest thing. It made my day. I just can't wait to keep watching. I love this show, and I love this podcast, and I can't wait to see how everybody else feels about Debbie getting the boot. Anyway, you guys have a great day, and we'll talk to you guys later. Hi, Joanne. Hi, Stacy. This is Shea. I had to call back. I just listened to the exit interview with Debbie, and it just cracked me up because when they were on that reward where they got to fly in the plane and go eat, she was bragging yet again how she was in some part of the Air Force and got to be in planes all the time. So she was just enjoying watching everybody else be in awe, blah, 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 blah. But then, while in the interview with you guys, when you asked her about that reward, she literally said, "Is that the one where we got to go in that water airplane?" And Stacy said, "Seaplane?" And she's like, "Yeah, seaplane." Okay. For somebody who knows so much about airplanes and is around them all the time, she couldn't even come up with the proper title of the plane. It just, that woman. Okay. Oh, and my husband and I had an argument at the end of the episode, right as everybody's walking out of Tribal and the show is over. I swore that I saw Sarah kind of look over at the jurors and give them just this slight look that made me feel like she was letting them know, yeah, I'm the one who did that. I'm the one who pulled off that blind side. And my husband says that's in my head. He doesn't think that she did. So if you guys could rewatch just that part and let me know what you think, I'd appreciate it. Anyway, have a good day.
Thanks, Shea. Shea, I have some bad news for you.
You don't know how much it pains me to say this, but I have to agree with your husband.
Yeah, we didn't see it, Shea.
We don't see it.
Nope.
So
we've reviewed it multiple times. We're not even sure she's looking at the jury. So,
and it just looks like how Sarah looks.
It's her
to
normal
me,
resting face, that frown that she just has as the default look. Yeah, because the sides of her mouth turned down. So
I like the idea, but I didn't see it.
Yeah, we're gonna have to come in on the side of your husband on this one.
And you can bet she's not gonna let him hear this.
Yes. Yeah, this is done, I'm sure, as far as Shea's concerned. Well, thank you, Shea.
It's we like, enjoyed never that. Mind.
All aspects of it, but that part in particular I enjoyed. I was really curious to watch it.
You gave us a laugh.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks.
Next up, we got an email from Shelley. Shelley, we don't know where you're from.
Hi, Joanne and Stacy. It's been a while. I watched the first 7 episodes this season and realized that I missed watching Blood versus Water. I really thought I'd seen that one. After watching it, I started catching up on other missed seasons. I watched Worlds Apart, love Mike, glad he won, and Second Chances. I'm still scratching my head on some of the ones voted in for that. When they said Kelly, the one with no eyebrows, and Monica, I was thinking, who? I wish Shane and Max had gotten through instead. That was one of the best seasons ever. Yay, Jeremy. And this season looks like it's going to be right up there. Ty is so cute. I like Zeke and Troy's in too so far this season. Apart from these 3 and Cirie, I don't really like anyone else this season. So glad Sierra was voted out early. Hopefully she won't be back. I was so surprised Sandra made it so far, and I think she would have gone further if it wasn't for the tribe swap. This season made me like Malcolm and JT a little because of Mama and Baby Goat.
Oh, don't listen to the interviews after that then.
Was Michaela an entitled brat in her season? She is so disrespectful, I don't blame the others for not picking her. Who wants to spend time with her in that attitude? If she had just got over herself and didn't sulk, I think she would have seen the advantage. Most people would have sat with their feet in the water, giving them a possible view of that scroll. Way to go, Cirie, for not giving up, and good on everyone who encouraged her. I'm glad Debbie went this week, as she was very hard to watch. Please, can Andrea, why is she back on, or Michaela go next? Can't wait till next week. Let's hope Zeke has something up his sleeve and it's not a misdirect. All right, thanks, Shelley. Well, I first thought it was Shelley from Australia, but her name's different. So unless she got married or something.
Okay.
But so I'm not sure. So let us know where you're from, Shelley.
Michaela was not depicted as an entitled brat in her first season. She got quite the hero's edit for her physicality and what she was able to do in the challenges, and was celebrated for being very sharp. What they didn't show was some of the social perception of her, I don't think, in her first season, other than the run-ins that she had with Figgy. And she got off to a really bad start with her tribe in her first season too, and she wasn't sure why, much like she's really seems confused as to why she's perceived the way she is this season too.
I think she's more concerned about why she's not getting to play anymore. That's what upsets her the most, is not getting to play. Or not getting certain responsibilities in the challenges that she thinks she could do better.
I guess that could be perceived as entitlement, but I didn't really see it that way. She's just like, I got these skills, this is where I could help the most.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
The other part, though, is her game is so rough. She's celebrating the truthfulness of her game and how she wants everyone to play the way she wants to play. It's like she doesn't get Survivor at all, and I know she's way smarter than that, and she totally does. It's the way she comes off with the bits and pieces that we get to see from the edit just doesn't make it look like that same sharp, intelligent person. I still think she shouldn't have come back. I mean, it's so hard. We've talked about it multiple times. So hard to turn down a chance, a 1 in 20 chance at $1 million. How could you really? But it's best for you not to go back to back.
I think so too. I think that's just too hard
History's
on everyone.
shown. Yeah, you need some time to figure out when you didn't win, or you don't
and
think.
to see your season and see how you were perceived.
Right.
I think that's very helpful.
She's at a disadvantage because she just stayed at that one point in her development because of that. Just not enough time, right?
Yeah.
For her or Zeke in that regard.
At least that's her opinion.
Yes. Thanks, Shelley. Next up, we got a call from Victoria. And she sent in something that I'll read after, some questions for us that I'll read after we play the audio.
Hi, Survivor fans. This is Victoria from Maryland. OMG, OMG. Woof, wow. Woof. I laughed, I cried, I jumped up for joy. It was just full of roller coaster of emotion. First off, the whole Cirie scene. Oh, my goodness, Cirie. That was amazing. And I finally got from Sarah what I've been looking for in her since the beginning of the season. Like, I missed the old Sarah, the true police officer Sarah. So, I mean, she said that she was playing like a criminal. Like, I just couldn't believe that from her. Like, it was so ingenuine. Because to me, Sarah will never be a villain. She'll never be like Tony. She's a hero. She's a police officer. And when she swam back in the water to help Cirie, that just solidified her for me because it showed her trueness. I think that was so beautiful, seeing everybody there gathering around Cirie, helping her out. I love that part of the game. It's a beautiful part. Michaela still being Michaela, totally upset, having a fit, and totally missed the secret advantage, but I'm happy that Sarah did find it. Come on, Michaela, you gotta do better on your temper. I was surprised to see that Cirie is just giving out all kind of great advice. She's helping Michaela out, she's helping Sarah out, telling her how to play. I mean, I think whoever goes to her pretty much gets some really solid advice. So, unfortunately, I don't think she'll make it to the end, but she probably deserves to. I'm so happy. So very happy that I got to see my girl Aubrey doing something today. I got to see her raw emotions, so that's awesome. And I'm so super duper califragilistic, happy that Debbie is gone. The way that she was talking to Aubrey was so condescending, so do what I tell you to do. And Aubrey's exactly right. This was the same Debbie that she voted out last time, and she deserved to go. And I guarantee that she probably would have ended up taking Troy's into the final three because I keep forgetting that he's there. So it's good to see him win a challenge because I totally forgot that he was doing anything. It's tough to see Ty. Like, he really should have rethought that Ozzy vote because he looks like he's hurting right now for some food. But just like see how everybody else thinks. Thanks. Bye.
All right. Victoria followed up with an email after she had rewatched the episode, and she had a couple questions for us. First, how do you think Ciara and Brad will play since now they've lost their shield? What do you think about that? How are Ciara and Brad going to adjust?
I think they're going to try to pull somebody in, and I just don't know if they know that Ty has the idols. Will he tell them? If Ty tells them, they can try to pull Zeke in and just start picking the other people off. Zeke would probably want to go after Andrea. They could be on board with that, no problem. And so I don't know that it's going to hurt them that much.
I think you're right. I think they really have the skill set to adapt to what's going on and then end up back in a majority again. It's just going to be a different majority. Because, like Zeke said, he looks for the deck to reshuffle after every vote out. So he's fine doing with a do-over.
Well, when it came down to it last time, when they really needed the idol, Ty told them, and they used one. He didn't have to tell them he's got two. But if they need that, then maybe Ty or Troy might step up. I don't think Troy will unless he thinks he's in danger, but Ty might. So if he tells them that.
You covered our next question about Zeke, or we talked about it.
Okay.
Effectively.
Read the question.
Do you think Zeke will take Debbie's place and possibly shield them?
Yeah, I think that's very possible.
I think it's funny that Debbie used her advantage when she didn't even need to and gets voted off next tribal. She has an evil laugh in there. Also, is anyone looking for an idol anymore?
Ozzy said he was.
Yeah, there's just no point in showing it.
Actually, it was driving him crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no point in showing the people that are looking because we know there's none there.
Right.
So
it
they
just
don't
doesn't
waste,
add to the story.
they don't waste airtime on it.
Right. She says Ty's just chilling in the background, letting all the huge targets surround him. Smart Ty, pretty smart. Yeah, he's playing a good game from that perspective. I think you're right, Victoria. Thank you. Good job. Next up, we got a call from Parker.
Hey, it's Parker from Indiana. This episode, it wasn't like the best episode of the season, but it was pretty good. It's been a very emotional season. We know that Survivor's an emotional game and stuff, but rarely do we see people breaking down as much as we have this season. There's been lots of tears this season. In this episode, it also makes you just love Cirie even more. Aubrey hasn't really been in this season very much. She was kind of in this episode with voting off Debbie, but her reactions to things this whole season, she has just had the most over-the-top reactions with her facial expressions. When Debbie was talking to her and then Debbie left, she just rolled her eyes straight into camera, and it was great. Oh my gosh, I love Aubrey. She hasn't been in this season at all, but she's She's awesome. I do like Michaela more than I like Debbie, obviously, but they both have one thing in common. They're so arrogant. They just talk way too much, and their comments are so, like, snarky. And they have so much drama surrounding them, Debbie and Michaela. The dramatic parts of Survivor is my least favorite aspect of the game or of the show. You know, I like the game part, not the drama. Sarah in this episode, she's kind of been in this season, but not really. Andrea's a better player than Debbie, but Debbie's just so annoying. I'm happy that Sarah voted off Debbie. And next episode looks crazy. Is there going to be an all-female alliance? If so, we got 3 idols between the guys, with tied with 2 and chosen with 1. So they sense something going on. They could easily play one of those idols and save themselves. We could have a 3 Amigos tribal with tied 2 idols and Chosen's idol. That would be awesome. But they probably vote out someone I like. So again, don't do that. I'm happy that Cirie didn't go home tonight. I really hope she doesn't go home next week because I've made Cirie my winner pick. So hopefully Cirie can finally win, and it'll be awesome. All right. See you guys next time.
I like Parker goes through a whole range of emotions as he's doing his analysis. I said, that would be awesome, but it would probably be someone I like. Don't do that. Good deal. Thanks, Parker. Next up, we got an email from Tim in Youngwood, Pennsylvania. Hi, Joanna and Stacy. I just thought I would send in a few quick comments. I don't write in regularly, but I listen to every one of your podcasts every week. I still don't see the thing that everybody else does who thinks Cirie is a great player. She seems like a very nice and sweet person, but as a player, I just don't see her doing her version of Sandra's rope-a-dope method where she lays low all the time.
I just see her doing.
Oh, okay. Yep, thank you. She sucks in most challenges, if she's even in them. It seems she is on the puzzle, so she doesn't have to do physical stuff, or she's the one who sits out of the challenge. If she wasn't a captain in last night's challenge, she would have been the one not picked, let's face it, and this shortcoming of her game was brutally exposed in the process. As to Debbie, she really does seem to get cocky and run at the mouth when she thinks she has all the high cards. I used to work with someone like her. It was exhausting dealing with all her idiosyncrasies. I'm sure the cast is glad she's at Ponderosa where she is with Ozzy, who she drove to get out. Ozzy's probably enjoying the karma on Culpepper, Sierra, and Ty as they went with Debbie over him last week, and now the tables have been turned on them. Another one I don't hold in the high esteem the others do is Aubrey. It seems to me she is never in control of her fate and is always out of the loop on the bottom looking up and getting dragged along. I remember in her first season she was one of the finalists and the jury blatantly treated her as if she was invisible, and she was only a finalist because everybody knew they could beat her. Most wouldn't even engage her at that last tribal council. I don't see anything different this season for her so far. I think historically that's there's one part to add there. When they did get to see what Aubrey was doing in the context of the season, they did think differently about her performance. We heard several people say that. So it was what they were aware of versus what she was really doing. Michaela was kind enough to show us what blind rage is. Sarah got a great edit last night. Let's see if they continue to feature her. Everyone talks about Sierra's nails. Isn't that the line of work Ty is in? No, it's not. Ty's a gardener. Yeah, I thought I read that once. Maybe I'm wrong. I think you're wrong. Or maybe he knows something and is helping her. Possibly, but I read somewhere.
No, she had those from day one.
Yeah, well, he's saying helping her maintain them somehow.
Maintain them. I don't know.
Yeah. Or maybe he knows something and is helping her. I think her mustache is coming back, though. Oh, Tim, you went rough there. But yeah, it definitely is. You can see it at the picnic that they had. You can see Culpepper and Troyzan are really suffering from the lack of calories. I think that hits bigger people harder than skinnier people. Ty, poor Ty, the producer's giving him a word like immunity to spell. At least it wasn't metamorphosis. Okay, I like how you looked at it. Until next time, thanks, Tim. Next up, we got a call from Seth. I bet I know why Seth's calling.
Hey, Joanne and Stacy and all my Survivor friends. This is Seth from Austin, Texas calling, and I'm leaving my voicemail for the very first time. And I thought it was fitting because I am at the bottom of the JSFL side challenge. It's terrible. I can't get a vote off point to save my life. Actually, at the merge, I ended up voting out my USB Aussie because I was so desperate for a point. So hopefully I can rebound here soon. And okay. I'm not afraid to lose the side challenge. I was a music major in college, and it'd be kind of fun to make up a song, but it's the losing part. Yeah, no fun. Thank you, Joanne and Stacy, for this awesome podcast. My commute to work is very long, and so I just really love to hear your thoughts. How you and Joanne playfully go back and forth is awesome, and then all the other Survivor fans' thoughts. It's cool to share this show with the community of people. Anyways, on to the show. So, had to choose a new USB, so I chose Brad. I think he's playing a really great game. Actually, at the merge, he kind of disappeared a little bit, which was perfect for his game. It got him out of the spotlight. Having Cirie there in front of him as the supposed leader of their alliance is a really great thing for Brad's game. So I picked him for my new USB. I think he's going to do great. I think he has a great chance to make it to the end. On to my girl, Cirie. Man, how awesome is she playing right now? I think that she's a better Survivor player than Sandra. It's just my opinion. I'm really pulling for her. I hope she makes it to the end. I think she can really do it this time. I'm going to go on a limb here and say that a Ty goes home next. I think he's going to pull a James and go home with 2 idols in his pocket. And I just feel like something's going to happen, and he's going to get blindsided by a group of people who just don't trust him to stay aligned with them. We'll see, though. For Sarah, I don't know. I don't want to say she's annoying, but when her little one-liners get featured, my wife and I just look at each other and we're just like, I don't know. She is playing well. I'm not pulling for her, though. Man, he's got himself in a really bad spot. Kind of did this last time, so I just want to reach the TV and be like, slow down, bro. You don't need to make all these moves right now. Just hang back, let everybody else take each other out, and then you'll be a little further in the game. But I do understand his will to just want to get out there and make something happen. I think that's it. For you guys that follow NFL Draft, was on last night. I have a buddy who's a big Giants fan. I'm a huge Cowboys fan. He posted this big thing about how it figures that Texas would take a guy named Taco. And I was like, well, if the Big Apple can take a guy named Apple last year in the draft, then Texas can certainly take the Taco this year. Appreciate your time, all. Have a great week. Look forward to Survivor next.
All right. Thanks, Seth. Good job there on your first audio, and stick with that concept. I think you're onto something. Coming up with a song would be fun. Yeah, you're going to enjoy that. Good deal. I like your outlook on the whole thing. Next up, we got a call from Becca-n-Liam.
Hi, Joanne and Stacy. Hi, Survivor fans. It's me, Liam.
And Becca. Liam has run off to play with his grandma and his sister, so you're just stuck with me. We were out of town for 2 episodes. We ended up missing 2 episodes of Survivor. And wow, they were really big episodes that I missed. I came home and I had 3 hours of Survivor and loads and loads and loads of hours of feedback to catch up on. So that's why we were unable to catch up on everything and leave feedback last week, but I would have loved to. So I'm going to talk about it just a little bit. Last week's episode, when Ozzy was, the challenge that he had never lost before, and he was up there holding on, I was so sure that he was going to win. But I had already seen Joanne and Stacy. You kind of spoiled me a little bit because I saw the interview where it said, this week we interviewed Ozzy. So I knew he got voted out or he left the game. But in my mind, I was like, he's got to win this challenge. So I sat there thinking of ways that he would win the challenge, win immunity, and yet still get voted out of the game. And I spent a lot of energy doing that. But it turned out pretty typical. He lost the challenge and then got voted out. As for this week, that reward challenge, well, we did watch the challenge. Liam did watch the challenge with me a little bit earlier. And Michaela's attitude was really a great lesson for a 5-year-old on how not to act and how not to be a good sport and why maybe a team doesn't want you on their team if you have a bad attitude. So that was helpful. And it was really touching to see Cirie's friends rally around her as she tried to complete that challenge even after they had already lost. It was just a really touching moment, and I ended up watching it twice, once when I watched the episode and once when I watched the challenge with Liam. And you know what? I teared up both times. I am not a crier, but that was just really a special moment. Another really special moment was when Debbie got voted out. That was awesome. I was like so excited. I fist pumped and everything. Another thing I rarely do. But I love seeing that little change, that little shift in the balance. So that was great. And I'm really looking forward to keeping up with the rest of the season. I don't think we have any more reasons that we should be away from the internet. When we were on our trip, we didn't have Wi-Fi for like 8 days, and it was crazy. I felt like I was on Survivor. But it was great to have a whole bunch of stuff to listen to when I was washing and folding and putting away 8 days worth of 4 people's laundry.
All right. I like that. Michaela provides a teachable moment to 5-year-olds on how not to behave. Excellent. Thank you, Becca. Next up, we got an email from Barbara in Long Island, New York.
Stacy, good job in picking Sarah as your new USB. She's getting a winner's edit. Jumping in to help Cirie out of the water sealed the deal. Not to mention getting the immunity advantage. Debbie has spent all her exit interview time talking about how icky Sarah was for swearing on her son.
Mm-hmm.
It's a game of lies. Get over yourself, volunteer Air Cadet Captain. Can't wait to see her again on Survivor. Every vote-off pick I've made this season was wrong, so bear that in mind when I say next week's Flame Snuff will be Andrea or maybe Zeke. No, wait, maybe Michaela. Love all that you two do. All right, thanks, Barbara.
Thank you, Barbara. Next up, we got an audio from Drew and the Hooligans.
Hey, Joanna and Stacy. Hey, everyone. This is Drew. And?
Daddy.
And? Me. What's your name, babe?
Cirie.
Yes. We remembered this morning, so we're doing a quick recording back with my helpers. So let's see. I thought this was a good episode. There was lots of different things going on, but I enjoyed it. It's interesting because I feel like a lot of times we have the exact response to things that the edit wants us to, but then you still try to kind of read between the lines and figure out like why Andrea is just so angry at Zeke and why Debbie appears to be just so insane, but then in her interview she seems like a normal, lucid, shrewd player. So it's really interesting to just kind of dissect this game, and I think this podcast is a great forum and a great method to do that. So thanks for that, first of all. But I thought this was a fun episode and a good episode. I think that I hesitate to even say who I picked as my USB because I just can't believe it that I did it. But I will say that the wife has taken to calling him Bread. I don't know why. I think it was a typo while we were texting or chatting or something. And so now his name sounds to me like a sandwich from a corner sandwich place, like bread Culpepper or Culpepper bread. It's like a type of bread. So anyway, I'm just going for him because I feel like it just could happen. I didn't give it too much thought. I just kind of went for it, even though, I don't know. I you know how it is. It's so hard to choose. I did want to say that I thought that the whole thing with Cirie was, it was cool and whatever, but I did think it was just kind of corny. Am I the only person? Is a pretty heavy-handed, is kind of a talk show moment, and just kind of corny, and they don't do this for every challenge, as far as I know, that we get to see, for sure. They don't let every person who's like trying to prove something or struggling finish out the challenge and get the hero music and get the tribe patting their back, even though they basically lost the whole challenge. A lot of times, if you lose the challenge for your tribe, you might be going home. But I don't know. It's very strange that that whole thing went down that way. But, they had storytelling to do, and so that was fine. And I like Cirie, so it was fine. But it just seemed very put together, I think that Sarah, she just keeps surprising me. But, I'm actually not a very big fan of Sarah. I never really have been. But I'm not sure why. She just wasn't my favorite. Though I will say that she was in my dream last night. She was my wife, but I was surprised to find that she was my wife. I was like, oh, my wife has been on Survivor all this time? It's crazy. Anyway, I am just all over the place this morning. It's pretty early. The kids don't have the idea of what Saturday means, but whatever. I think that the Tribal Council result was actually a really fun surprise. I had no idea. I didn't have her safe. I think actually Julie did, so that's too bad. It seems like either one of us or the other will get the double whammy each week, but it wasn't me this week, so there's that. I think that food on the challenge this week looked really good. Was it this week that they had like those egg rolls? And I don't know, it just looked really yummy. I'm all over the place. I don't know what else to say. Winner of the week, I guess it has to be Sarah because attention to detail, self-aware, aware of her surroundings, all that stuff, and she's doing great so far. She puts herself in the middle. I'm afraid if she puts herself in the middle too much, it's going to be too much, if you know what I mean. Loser of the week, I want to say Nicola just because she missed out on that, but I don't know. I think she was just kind of frustrated, and I would be too, but I guess I have to give it to Debbie just because, the overconfidence and then the total blind side, but she was such a good sport. I mean, it's so weird. It's crazy. Anyway, I don't have much else to say. I know I'm probably over time, so I'm going to go. Hey, Charlie, you want to say bye? Bye. Adelaide, say bye. Bye. See you guys. Have a great weekend. Talk to you later. Bye.
Thanks, Drew. Did you tell Julie about your dream? You might want to do that. She can help you figure it out.
Or beat you over the head. Whichever comes first.
Next up, we got an email from Jack in California. Hi, all Survivor fans. This was another great episode. Is it just me, or does this season seem to have a lot more advantages displayed throughout the game?
Definitely.
Oh, there are definitely more. They have changed the game. We had the one at the very beginning, hidden idols, extra vote, and now stealing a vote. Was there any I missed?
Nope. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, I think you covered them, at least for the most part. I believe Michaela's playing a decent game, but it's hard to cheer for her sometimes, especially when she's so bitter with the rest of the cast. I liked her gameplay in Millennials vs. Gen X, but her bitterness is starting to annoy me to the point where I would be fine to see her go home. Uh-oh, Michaela, you lost him. Also, what is it with her always either drinking or doing something while the votes are being read? In some ways, I can't wait to see her go while she does this. She also seemed to be so clueless when the rest of the tribe competed in the reward challenge that she didn't even notice there was a secret advantage in the game that she could have gotten. I'm liking Sarah a lot, and I'm glad to know that she at least saw there was an advantage and took it. During the reward challenge, I love seeing that everyone in the cast, especially Sarah, Zeke, and the rest of Cirie's team, came back to help her even though they lost the challenge. Cirie struggled a lot, but it was great that everyone was encouraging her to continue trying. Debbie's cockiness was again her downfall, and even though I put her down as a safe point, I'm glad to see her get blindsided. The two things I got from this tribal is to never feel too comfortable, and also don't underestimate the loyalty you think you have. Thanks, Jack. That's a good summary. Next up, we got a call from Kenny.
Hey guys, it's Kenny from Dallas. Well, the name this season is Game Changers, and we wondered sometimes why the season is named that, because some of the players certainly were not game changers, but maybe, and they have changed the game around in certain respects. I think an ultimate change for the game, and something that would really shake things up, would be if they went from the individual players back to teams for a couple of rounds. That would be great. No one would expect that. Well, I think they could have changed it. Name of the season of confusing names for players. You have Sarah, Sandra, Sierra, Don Thomas, and just Sierra. I should just call this Sierra Don. There's no reason to add the Thomas on. And you have Cirie. All these women, Sarah, Sandra, Cirie, Sierra, Sierra Dawn. Very uncanny how they have very similar names. Debbie finally got her comeuppance, great blind side. She finally found out what a democracy is. She's used the term wrong a couple of times. When Jeff read the last vote, he could have said, "This is a true democracy. 6-5, Debbie, you are out." I think I'm looking forward to see Debbie on the future season, kind of a la when the Boston Rob came back and headed one tribe and Russell headed one tribe and then went against each other. I want to see Debbie head one tribe and Philip Shepard head another tribe too. I think she was great TV. The scene of her, the reward challenge, where she's making it sound like no one's ever been in an airplane before except her, was just great. I think Cirie showed us why she was such a great player in her manipulation of Sarah. I think Aubrey did help too. It's great to see Aubrey finally come out. I think Cirie just has too big of a target on her, and I don't think she's long for this game. I am definitely rooting for her. I think she's really seems to be a nice person, and I hope she goes all the way. Finally, let's give Survivor credit where credit is due. They have not had any of these teasers about who's going to be medevaced out, who's going to fall out of a tree. However, they still show the sharks all the time, like hyping that someone's about to be eaten. But if you think about it, they show the sharks right before the immunity challenge or the reward challenge with that Michaela was left out at. And this clue was right underneath Michaela's nose. She didn't pick up on it. She had terrible situational awareness. And sure enough, these sharks show terrible situational awareness. They haven't eaten anybody who's gotten into the water. What terrible players they have been. In a future season of Survivor, where it's just the predators, the sharks, poisonous insects, the snakes, man-eating monkeys, the sharks will score very poorly in Stacey's pregame show regarding their situational awareness. very disappointed in their performance so far. Take care, guys. Bye.
Okay, Kenny. Jeez. I am absolutely 100% against your idea of a Debbie versus Philip. Yeah, season. No, sir. No, thank you. Next up, we got an email from Nicola in Lexington, Kentucky.
Hello, everyone. It's a very busy week for us in the Bluegrass with our annual 3-day event competition. I have only seen the episode once, and then I missed bits. So this is short and sweet. So glad Debbie is gone. I hope Andrea is next, but it's doubtful. Have a great weekend, and thanks for all you do, Joanne and Stacy. All right, thanks for taking the time, Nicola. Up next, we have audio from Ronda and T-Bone.
Hi, Joanne and Stacy. Hi, everyone. It's Rhonda with her sidekick T-Bone from Portland. I'm going to post a picture of this kitten in the Facebook group because y'all need to see the amazing amount of cuteness that's going on. And I'm specifically talking about this because my family has commented that they love how people get sidetracked in the feedback. So I'm not talking about Survivor. I'm talking about a cute kitten who's got little spots on his belly. And he just woke up because I touched his belly. I've officially wasted 38 seconds talking about a kitten. Now 40 seconds. Okay, so let's talk about the episode. I liked that we were completely set up for Debbie's demise. I wonder what she did to production to get such a kind of a foolish looking edit where she was made to look like such a fool is really the only way to put it. I mean, they obviously like her because she's good TV, but maybe she wasn't so much fun to work with. And if anyone hasn't watched her Ponderosa video, I don't know, maybe she's in on the joke. I don't know. I haven't listened to any exit interviews or anything, but where she was with the helicopter and which is this the red button? This is the one with all the bombs? I don't know. I thought that was kind of funny, but not funny. I thought they were setting up the episode for Cirie to get voted out, which I thought would have been a much wiser decision, especially if Cirie makes final 3, then that would really be would have been a wise decision. What's going on with Cirie's edit? Can you talk about that, please? Because I really don't know. I mean, is Cirie going to win? Is Cirie going to go to the final 3 and fail? I just don't understand. I mean, and also, why aren't they voting Cirie out? How stupid are these people? I don't get it. I really don't get it. So I would love to hear what you think about this. And I'm ashamed to admit I haven't listened to any Survivor podcast at all. So I haven't even heard your recap, which I will do. So I'd really love to hear what everyone has to say about that. And I'm really looking forward to my niece Sarah's feedback about Debbie going out. So I hope she did it and everyone else's as well. It's going to be a fun listener feedback. Hope everyone's well, and I'll talk to y'all next week. Okay, bye-bye.
Thanks, Rhonda. Thanks, T-Bone.
That is a beautiful kitten.
Yeah? You saw the picture already?
Yes, though I've never seen such big pads on the paw.
Yeah, well, you haven't seen a lot of kittens, I don't think.
Well, that's true. I haven't, but it just seemed unusually big and but adorable. And I can understand the distraction because Zed's been playing. He's finally calmed down. He's been playing with his mouse all around the room.
He batted it all around the living room while the first part of the episode
in
here.
the crate and buried it under the pillow.
I'm hoping the mic didn't pick it up because it's not omnidirectional, but he was making quite a bit of racket as he ran around the room.
Yep, but he's looking out the patio door now. So.
Actually, he's asleep.
Oh, he is?
Yeah, he's looking
he's looking
back
over
towards us.
You.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's snoozing. It's nap time. Oh, sorry, Rhonda. We didn't get anything from Sarah this week, so she must have been busy like a lot of the other folks.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. I don't know about Cirie either, other than I do think Cirie has made a lot of friendships, and she really genuinely seems to like the people that are on the season. She said that in extra videos and stuff, that she
Rhonda was
really
asking
likes
about her
these
edit.
people.
What's going on with how she's being depicted?
Yes,
Rhonda's a huge fan of the winner's edit. She believes that you can tell who's going to win. So she's stumped with how Cirie's being edited. It doesn't fit any of the paradigms that Rhonda has for how they edit people.
Okay.
For their different respective roles in the season. That was my take on her question.
So what is your opinion on the edit?
She was completely ineffective. She came out of the gate and she was a huge dud. She was not featured.
She didn't have to go to tribal council.
They did introduce her, and they were basically showing her difficulties, and extra videos and other people basically are saying that she had a really rough start. So there wasn't, you can get completely shut out in the game. That's what we're seeing with Aubrey. They've just held her under their boot. Whoever was in the controlling alliance of the tribe that she was on, she's had no traction. So I don't think Cirie had any traction in the first half of the game. They showed her a couple times because she's got this big role to play, and they knew this scene was coming where they're going to celebrate her. But I don't think she's tracking for a win. I don't think she's got that social side of her game straight at this point, so that people see her that way.
I've never thought that they were going to allow her to get deep in the game, because they do like her, they do respect her.
She's officially deep at this point.
Well, I mean Final Four or Final Five deep.
Okay.
I didn't think they were going to do that. I would be thrilled if they did. But the edit has changed significantly, which isn't unusual, from the beginning, in how she was interacting and how she's interacting with all the people now. Even the ones that aren't in her quote unquote alliance, she still sits and are friendly with them, and was sitting crying with Ty, talking about her situation. And so I just think she's making a lot of friends with all these people. And they don't really want to get rid of her too soon, but I think they will. I don't think she's getting winner's edit, but I hope I'm wrong. That would thrill me.
It would be exciting to see her go to the end again, and then just super exciting to see her actually clinch a win.
Yeah.
And she's in a situation where she's got a huge advantage over experience-wise and game savviness-wise over everyone that she's left playing with. Because the big ones, the big targets, and especially those that know how to win because they've experienced that, are all gone. So she does stand out because she's the only top-tier player left. But I don't think she's going to make it either.
In your opinion.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Well, I hope that answers your question, Rhonda.
Probably not, but that's what we got. Thanks, Rhonda. Next up, we got a call from Rashmi.
Hello, Joanne and Stacy and all my survivor friends. So finally, the Cochrane hugging, ambassador greeting, motorcycle riding, electronic expert, waitress, part-time model, gymnast, yoga instructor, Air Force auxiliary captain, Debbie is gone. And she never saw it coming. However, I'm going to miss her because she really did make me laugh. And so many times I just had to stop and watch again and say what she said. Now, who all are left behind? There's Aubrey. She's so boring. Look, she might be a great strategist, but she is just getting such a boring edit, and you hardly see her. She's like a no entity to me at the moment. Troyzan, I still like him. Super pleased to see him win the immunity idol. Brad, he's not giving us any of those great epic moments. He's just getting a very good boy edit. Cirie, look, she has still got it. And that little episode, which was really good, but Jeff just went so over the top with it that by the end of the tribal council, I was just feeling a bit fatigued with all the psychoanalysis that he was doing. Nicola, I just so love her. And especially when she sits at tribal council with all her little props. And this time she was eating her coconut chips. She's just so gorgeous. And I was a little bit annoyed to see that she was left out yet again in spite of her challenge prowess. It's really disappointing. Ty, I just love Ty and I can't get enough of him. I know he's not gonna win, but he's really entertaining to watch. Zeke, okay, whatever. He'll be gone soon. Sarah, my USB. Second time round. She was my USB the first time. Second time, I did put her in there, but I fumbled like Joanne said people do. And so now I've got her as my 5-point USB. She really has a deadpan voice, doesn't she? But that bit when she got the secret advantage was amazing. And she is getting a really good edit now, so I feel really good about it. You know, she's getting lots of confessionals, etc. Sierra, don't care for her much. Andrea, I like her, and I would hope she makes it for a couple more episodes. This has been a real idol bonanza this time. Ty has 2, Troy has 1, Sierra has a legacy advantage, Sarah has a vote steal. I wonder how it will all play out. So I'm looking forward to the next episode, and I think it's either going to be Sierra or Zeke. So let's see if I get it right this time, because I didn't last time. And thank you, Joanne and Stacy, for all you do. Bye for now.
Thank you, Rashmi. Sorry you made that mistake there and lost those points.
But if it was your USB 24, you would still have 10 points, not 5.
Right. 5's only when the previous USB you had been voted out.
Yes.
I don't think that's any consolation for making that mistake, though. Oh, that's tough. Next up, we got an email from Josh the Plush Moose from Massachusetts. Dear Joanne and Stacy, as I said on Facebook, I live about 35 miles away from Boston, and I clearly heard a jubilant "woo, baby" wafting through my window as the show ended. All right, so you can hear Pete from that far away, huh? This week's observations. I know emotions run high after a blindside, but Andrea didn't help her game by snarking at Zeke after Ozzy went home. Yeah, I agree with you there, buddy. The clearly marked secret advantage looked like it escaped from a villain's lair on the old Adam West Batman show. Cirie's struggles at the reward challenge were hard to watch. I felt bad for her having to push herself that hard just to give the producers an uplifting TV moment. Mopey Michaela myopically missed amassing major mana, while criminal cop Sarah craftively copped a coup. Very good. I love the alliteration. Double bonus points for extra alliteration. Arrogant Sierra thinks she's in the driver's seat. I think she needs a learner's permit. Brad leaving Sarah with Cirie to guard his interest is like asking a hen to babysit the fox. I like that. I felt sorry for Ty in the immunity challenge. Jeff's picking on his inability to spell a word backwards in his second language while exhausted and malnourished was almost bullying. The core members of the 6 openly cheering on Troy Zan during the immunity challenge opened the door for Debbie's blindside. We're 34 seasons into Survivor on a returnee season, and yet another arrogant majority marginalized a bottom member losing control of the game. I guess the game hasn't changed after all. There you go. That's not evolution, is it? Did anyone else notice the dingbat music when Sheriff Sierra talked to Sarah about a final 3 with Debbie? I don't think I did. I didn't pick up on that. Note to Debbie, a group with no leaders and no followers isn't democracy. It's an anarchy. That's what Kenny was saying, too. I love how Aubrey was able to contain her eye rolls and bird flipping until Debbie was a safe distance away. Sarah decisively changed her swing vote game from Cagayan. I'm warming to her, but I don't think she'll win. I guess one has to be a master of the boo-boo face to call someone else a boo-boo fool. Michaela pulling out a food prop at Tribal is like Gallagher pulling out the sledge-o-matic at a comedy show. You know things are about to get really messy. Next, chaos reigns. Will Zeke be the victim of his own machinations? Anyway, that's all I have for now. Thanks, Joanne and Stacy, for all you do. Can't wait to hear what the other fans have to say. Thank you, Josh. I enjoyed that immensely. Next up, we got a call from Harold.
Well, hello, Joanne and Stacy and all the fellow Survivor fans. This is Harold from Boynton Beach, and I'm just going to have to do a little Pete from Boston. Whoa! I finally got all 4 safe points and a vote-off point this week in JSFL.
Congratulations.
And I've got myself up to 31 points for the season in my first year playing. Woohoo for me. Sarah, you are playing one awesome game, and I got rid of you, Michaela, because you're not playing a very good game. You had a advantage sitting at your feet, and you didn't even notice it or pick it up or look around. You were too busy pouting on the bench like a little baby. I believe they're only going to be keeping you around for a little bit longer because I think they're going to use her and use everybody now to go after one of the big guns. And that big gun is either going to probably be, I think, Sierra Dawn Thomas or possibly Ciara Dawn Thomas. I don't know. What do you guys think? I think she's probably the biggest threat, and I think everybody in the game knows it. As far as the episode, I was so happy for that blind side of Debbie because I've been waiting all season long for her to be kicked out and for her to go bye-bye. So all I can say to Debbie is, na, 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 hey, 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 goodbye. And I can't wait to hear what everybody else has got to say, but I'm just so happy Debbie's gone. I guess I'll be listening and see what you guys got to say. Thanks.
Thank you, Harold. I'm glad you enjoyed it that much. Brought several people to sing this week, huh?
Yep.
Good job. And I forgot to mention Harold had, he called back a second time last week, and he was just saying, he was thanking us for mentioning Alone. He said he really enjoyed watching Alone. And I think was referring to season 3, which had aired, that was over the break, right? We definitely enjoyed season 3. That just went in a completely different direction. It was, and I thought it was way better than season 2. But yeah, we like that, and I'll check out the other shows that you mentioned there, Harold. The other thing I wanted to mention to you is that we watched there's a season of what?
Go ahead.
There's a season of Alone that was it Denmark?
I think so.
Norway that we watched. Now it's not in there. There's no English subtitles or anything, so you just have to figure it out. We learned one word.
Fisk.
That's right.
That's a fish.
Yeah. So there's lots of focus on the fisk. But you might want to check that out too. So it's different to see folks in a different country and how they handle the same circumstances. And then the last thing I'll mention about Alone, just as that side note, because I forgot to include that last week, is that there's already a commercial out for the 4th season that they're playing on the History Channel. Yeah, so keep your eyes peeled for that. Thanks again, Harold. Next up, we got an quick email from Shannon in Charleston.
Hey, Joanne and Stacy. This one will be short because I'm at my very first track meet.
Exciting.
And this has been a stressful week for me. I had testing, and testing will go on for 2 more weeks.
Goodness.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Debbie finally got voted out, and I'm very happy. I can't wait to see Sarah use her advantage. I wonder if my USB Michaela will make it. Please, Michaela, drop your attitude. Cirie was trying hard to finish the challenge, and she finished it well with amazing teammates. That's all for now. Bye. All right. Thanks, Shannon, for taking the time.
Yeah, appreciate that.
Up next, we have an audio clip from Joel.
Hey, Joanne and deeper voice Joanne. This is Joel from Tampa. Boy, Debbie, she had her talking points. I don't know if y'all listen to other exit interviews, but she said virtually the same thing on y'all's that she did other people. I mean, it really is becoming much more, they just want to get their point across, and they're not really answering the questions. All my favorites have pretty much gone, and so now I'm all in on Sarah. All my chips are in on Sarah. And deeper voice Joanne, I think you're right. I think I was concentrating too much on Debbie's hair last week because I tripped and fell coming out of the corral. Didn't even get to the starting line, and I had already tripped and fallen and pretty much banged up my knee and my elbow. But I did finish the race, and it's behind me now. So y'all have a great night.
Oh, so that song Schadenfreude was what they were saying. You remember that? The German word for being gleefully happy at someone else's bad luck, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So sorry to hear that, Joel. That's too bad. That's hard to run when you're hurt like that, but kudos. Good job on you for finishing. Next up, we got an email from Gene in Arkansas. Well, I made a rookie JSFL move last week and forgot to choose. If I had remembered, I think I would have gone with Sarah. She had a good choice. She had a great week and continues to be an impressive game player. I can't say the same for me. Lost a vote off and a safe point too. Bah. Oh, until next week, thanks for all you do. All right. Thank you, Gene. Thanks for sharing your experience there.
Good luck next week.
Yeah. Better luck next time. Whew, that's hard. Next up, we got a call from Jen.
Hi, everyone. This is Jen in California. Well, this season of Survivor is back. What a fantastic blindside. I love seasons of Survivor when the ones who are on the bottom of the majority alliance are willing to take a chance and flip the script. I know that was a really risky move on Sarah's part, but now it has really shaken up the game. Nobody is safe. Debbie's downfall was her own hubris. She had so much confidence that it made her careless, and she did not check in with everyone in her alliance before finalizing the decision that Andrea was going to go. If each week the people who are on the bottom of the majority alliance decide to take a risk and switch things up, this season is going to be absolutely unpredictable from here on in. I really enjoyed watching the tribe rally around Cirie as she finished that challenge that was so obviously so difficult for her. I loved her commentary about how the fact that she is not a physical threat in any way and by any means for her that she has to build relationships and focus on that was really great to hear. I think she is really doing her best to set herself up in this game as best she can. Anyway, that's it for me. I can't think of much else. We're out of town and I'm sitting here watching my sons play in the pool and my younger one make up survivor challenges for himself as he plays around. It's kind of fun. But anyway, I can't wait to hear what everybody else has to say. And until next week, bye.
All right. That sounds fun. Thanks, Jen. Next up, we got a call from Paul.
Hey, Paul, Louisiana here, and I have to admit that I have never been this far behind before. I haven't heard any of the podcasts since Ozzy left, and I haven't even listened to him yet. So straight to the point here, and then I'm headed out to the shop to get some work done while I catch up. Sadly, Brad's strategy about splitting up his alliance to maintain his numbers works both ways, and Sarah proved that. It's nice to see her get more screen time, but I have to confess that her confessionals practically put me to sleep. I think it's her voice. She's just so laid back. And Debbie, well, Debbie got far too cocky, even though she thought she was being a team player. The problem is that you have to include everyone, not just the select few in your alliance. I mean, she couldn't even be consistently civil to each of the 5 people in her group, let alone all 11 people playing. She just loves to gloat and rub it in. I think we all knew that Debbie was leaving before we even started voting because she'd been so cocky about her place in the game. So why then did I only get 2 points in the JSFL this week? I mean, I didn't even think that was possible this early on in the game, but when you forget to get your picks in, 2-point weeks can happen. Sadly, I had Debbie picked to go as I stated in my last feedback. I should have entered my picks there and then. Oh well. I did love the look that Brad and Sierra shared as Debbie walked away though. Oh, and before I forget, also, the whole Ty thing at that challenge where he could not spell immunity and he couldn't think, that I can totally understand that. I get like that every now and then. It'll happen to me and my mind just shuts down. So I did feel very sorry for him. And it shows you just how hard he's playing this game. Okay, so elsewhere, I'm glad to see that Zeke has cooled his engines. And while Michaela may not be saying what she's thinking, it's certainly plain to see. Girl, you telegraph it all without saying a word, and that is why I have no faith in my USB, who I forgot to change last week. And mark my words, Michaela is going to be speechless when she gets voted out, largely because she'll either have a mouthful of water or food. I mean, who eats at tribal council? So next week it's going to get tougher for the old head honchos because they're going to need to flip 2 people, and I just don't see them being able to bring Sarah back in. Andrea is probably their best bet, or even Zeke, but they're already together, although unhappily. So why would the 2 of them splinter off together to join Sierra and Brad? I'm thinking that Ty wins immunity, and that he may even save Brad with an idol, if that's who our new Power Alliance guns for. In that case, Sarah may be targeted for betraying them. So for now, it's Sarah going home for me, but I need to think this through a little harder because I can easily see Ty trying to join the new powers that be and screw up my current train of thought. And I can't stress the word current enough because all of this will likely change before the show airs. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a registration sticker to put on my license plate. Bye now.
Hey, guess who's going to win? Paul's going to win JSFL if Michaela wins.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
So you got it figured?
Yeah.
Why? Is that because the stats show something?
Because he's still got a 24-point Michaela.
Oh, okay. And he's going to somehow get the end order all correct?
Well, we'll see how many people have Michaela when we get
in the update. Good deal. Good job, everyone. Enjoyed that. You can see the there's certainly some splits in the reaction to Cirie, and I was thinking about it more after I was listening to Drew, and it did seem forced, the moment, and I think it really comes down to they really like Cirie. She's been good for Survivor, and
she has.
Survivor's been great for her too. So I think that's why, like someone was saying, well, why would they go this far out of their way? And I don't know that you need to read a lot more into it other than it's just some mutual respect.
She's been great TV for them, They've been good for her. She's been good for them. And, she is the person who went out there off the couch and was afraid to leave. I remember you and I laughed so hard that season when she was afraid of the leaves. It just cracked us up. We were like, what are you doing in this game?
Yeah, it led to
if you're afraid of leaves. But look at her.
Her origin story, in the pantheon of Survivor gods now where she lives. So I think it was really a lot about that, because I felt it being forced too. And you could tell she was humiliated at not being able to do it. So having all that extra attention, it was like a pile-on in that sense. It made me uncomfortable.
Would be tough,
but just like Joel, she didn't give up. She made it through and finished, which is good. I know how overwhelming that can feel. There's been times when I was doing I remember one of the half Ironmans, I ended up getting all teary-eyed at the end of it because I was so relieved after all that pain and misery and pushing yourself so hard where it's just like one more step, one more stroke in the swim, one more pedal on the bike, and you're doing that over and over. You're 8+ hours in. I can't imagine what it's like to be running a marathon like these folks for 26 days and run up against a wall like Cirie hit and then push yourself through it. Yeah, it gets overwhelming.
Yeah.
So
it's overwhelming just to watch you do it.
Seesawed through the whole range of emotions watching it. It's like, hey, you're pushing it. It's forced, but good on her. All that too. And I think we got some of that in the feedback here this week also. Good job, everyone. Hey, I want to mention that for the listener reward bonus, we've got to run into a technical difficulty. Not sure what's going on there. So we're going to put that on hold right now. We'll announce it again. Hopefully this next Wednesday night we'll have things straightened out. If you entered an answer, it didn't get recorded, so you'd need to do it again. We'll give you a heads up, and that'll be part of the true nature of the listener reward bonus, I guess. You'll have to listen for if it comes back, if it gets fixed or not. Okay. How about an update on the USB choices? You said you're going to put together some stats for us after the merge.
The lead, of course, no surprise to anyone, is Sarah with 69 people backing her as USB, and that's up from 32 in the beginning.
All right. Her stock's way up.
Aubrey, 47, down from 51.
Trending down.
But she's still in second place.
Mm-hmm.
Cirie with 34, up from 11.
Big jump there, too.
Nicola with 32, down from 52. So,
understandable.
Hey, she's still got a lot of support there, though.
Mm-hmm.
Zeke with 32, down from 40. Brad with 32, up from 3.
Yeah.
How about that?
That's
Ty,
the biggest jump.
Yeah, Ty with 25, up from 5.
Okay.
So that's a big jump, too. Sierra has 20 people, up from 12. Andrea also has 20, up from 13. And Troy has 8, up from 4.
Oh, doubling for Troy, even though the number's small. It could happen.
He's on the bottom, but he doubled his numbers, so hey.
There you go. So we want to say a big thanks to everybody who took the time to send in their thoughts and predictions and different life stories and faux pas when it came to JSFL this week. So thanks. We enjoyed all that.
Oh, we didn't hear from Jeremiah this week because he forgot to. He posted on Facebook.
Oh, I see. So he's dodging that bullet, coming on and acknowledging it. That's clever of you. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, but what if he beats you without even having a USB? How you going to feel then? Huh?
I'll celebrate his success. Because what we're talking about is whether or not you get immunity in the side challenge. The side challenge is really about immunity. And there's only going to be one person that doesn't have immunity at the end.
I'll say.
The person at the top gets a little bonus, a little cherry on top. They get to choose that song for the parody.
That's
but
true.
It's everybody gets immunity. It's like the early reward challenges, except the tribe at the bottom.
Yep. Okay. Don't forget to get your picks in on time on Wednesday.
A healthy reminder given everything that we just heard.
Everything. Yep. Well, and good luck with it, because I think it's getting harder and harder. For me, anyway. I mean, some people don't seem to have a problem, but...
There's never a week when you don't say it's a struggle.
I didn't last week so much. I just put Zeke and moved on.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, of course, I was wrong again, but...
Good deal. Anything else?
Everybody have a great weekend.